The Bearded Manjarbro here. In today's live stream show, Beard Matters, we're going to talk about something awesome, something that's just been released, not only for men, but it's also for women. And it is something that I have been able to check out for the last week. And I got to tell you, I absolutely love it. And I'm so excited to be having a special guest on this live stream tonight to talk about this product. But we're not just going to talk about this product. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. So if you're chiming in tonight, leave in the comments a question you may have for my special guest, Eric, tonight. We are going to be doing a giveaway, and we'll talk more about that here shortly. So we're going to get started. I don't want to keep your time too late tonight. I know that there is time change, and some people have probably woke up late this morning. Anyways, we're going to have a good time tonight on this show. If you are tuning in with us tonight, make sure you drop a comment in the chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So go ahead and give this video a like. Go ahead and share this. It is a good channel for all things beard related and also fitness. You know, we talk about all kinds of stuff on here. So stay tuned because we're going to talk about this giveaway shortly. So without any further ado, I'm going to bring on my guest today. This is Eric Steckling, and he is the founding CEO, creator of Brio. And I got to tell you, Brio, I love Brio. I think that they have awesome, amazing products. I think that they do a great job. I feel like, you know, if you're in the beard community, you already know how good Brio is. You know, you're probably familiar with the Brio Beardscape version 1, and then they came out with a version 2, and they've got all kinds of things. You know, the Brio Rays has been something awesome. We'll talk, maybe, who knows, maybe we'll talk more about that later today on this stream. But it is awesome stuff that you got to check out. But with that said, I'm going to bring on Eric. Welcome.
All right. Well, thanks for having me. And I'd say also thanks for mentioning the time change. You know, I hope everyone out there has already become aware of it. It's one of those things I know sometimes if you're not tuned in, I guess the thing is though, now like everyone's phone changes automatically, but
right.
I know there's a lot of us out there that are old enough where that didn't always happen. You know,
absolutely.
We had to like actually have this in a calendar. So
right.
Life's getting a little easier.
Oh, sure, for sure, absolutely. It was about 11 something last night. My daughter texted me and said, "Dad, how are we going to know what time's church? You know, we go to church, and what time's church?" I said, "It's the same time." And then she goes, "Oh," I said, "Your phone's going to automatically change, so we're still going to go at this time." "Oh, okay." You know, she's 12, so they're still trying to figure this whole time change thing out, and apparently I am too, because I think it's kind of crazy. But I mean, I understand and stuff, but I think that we should just all be on the same time.
Yeah, no,
we make things a lot easier.
Except I'd put it the other way. I don't understand. Like I don't think it makes much sense at all. I know there's some states, I think was it Arizona, they just don't do it. Mm-hmm. It's silly. There doesn't seem to be any advantage. So
right.
Yeah, I think it's just to confuse everyone.
Right, unless you're a farmer. You got to have that extra day, you know, to work or something. But I still feel like we could still get by without it. Me personally, I think that it's just it just kind of makes things a lot more difficult. What time zone are you in? Are you Eastern Standard? Are you Central? Are you Pacific? Yeah. You know, that's the question always happening. I got some crazy stuff going on in my background. Got some lights going on, so some strobe lights going on. So, but yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. But anyways, I'm so excited to have you, man. You know, we've talked this last year on and off with different products and stuff, and I've seen a huge response when it comes to me sharing Brio stuff. I think people on the market in the community are picking up. They're understanding the products and how good they are. The one thing that I love the most about Brio that I feel like personally that sets it apart is the battery life. You know, I love everything, the quality, everything about it, you know, but you can put one up to the next one. And one thing that really shines is that battery lasts forever. And I tell people all the time, the battery life on Brio products is incredible. You know, you definitely don't want to be doing a trim and then it dies in the middle, because that's happened to me several times with different products. And I've heard a lot of people say that they're, let's just say their head shaver, they bought it 6 months later, and I'm not going to mention any names on here, like company names. I'm not trying to bash anybody, but they may have bought a head trimmer or head shaver, and 6 months later, the battery life's already, crapped out on them, and they're disappointed because they've already put out $50, $60 on a head trimmer or head shaver. And, the thing of it is that, you don't know what you don't know. And that's what we do on these channels. That's why we talk about these products. We get them out, we showcase them, we compare them, we give our thoughts, and try to give the best opinions that we can as far as being honest. And so, yeah, I love it. I love it, man.
And for anyone out there who doesn't know, I'm sure no one probably would know, but people like Chad are generally can get stuff ahead of time. Like I'm generally always asking for feedback, and so is the rest of our team. So there are some special people out there that are able to kind of like test some of our stuff out that we directly get feedback from. And yeah, you were right with the battery life. I mean, that was one really early on that we identified as like just kind of a major flaw with a lot of electronic devices. And it's so we started back in 2014 with the sonic toothbrush, and the battery was kind of like one of the key things we wanted to improve. But you can almost look across almost any type of consumer product device that has a battery in it and understand like how important that is. Trimmers especially, because it does take a lot of power. And back when I was younger, back like 15, 20 years ago, like probably when I first started buying trimmers, the batteries were awful. And I think there were a lot of people that it took a long time for them to like actually accept the idea that a battery powered trimmer was actually going to work, like, especially compared to like a corded trimmer. Back then, 20 years ago, like, people were really into it. They're using the plug-in, barber style clippers where, you got like the shoebox full of guards that sits under the sink. And, for a while, they were more powerful. They were better.
Right.
Early on, there's like the nickel metal hydride batteries, and, you're charging it every 3 trims. And then like the whole lifespan of the thing is like, maybe a year, because every charging cycle, the battery would get worse and worse. But yeah, it's so not only has the technology come a long way, but like for us in particular, we decided just to way oversize the batteries and basically everything you're doing. And so really the benefit to that is like, there's really 3 benefits. So one is power. So, the bigger the battery, the more power you're going to be able to deliver like to that clipper head. So you're actually going to make it more efficient in terms of cutting. The second is the obvious one, where it's like, you just charge it less, right? Like fewer charges. I mean, I talked to a lot of people who are charging the Beardscape like twice a year, something like that. The third is something that no one thinks about, and we could talk about here. It's like, when you're oversizing the battery in a trimmer, what you're doing is we're buying more lifespan for the product. Because, everyone knows, like, if you have an iPhone that's like more than a year old, you start to notice how that battery life just like really degrades, right? So it's like, when your phone's like brand new, holds a charge a long time. But then as the older the phone gets, the more charging cycles that goes through, the worse that battery life is. So, with things like trimmers, what that usually means is like after a couple years, it doesn't really have a useful lifespan anymore. Like you're kind of to that point where it's kind of like dying, not every trim, but like pretty often. So by oversizing the battery, just making it way bigger than it needs to be, you're actually buying more usable lifespan of the product. So I know out there's probably plenty of Beardscapes that are 5, 6, 7 years old, and they're still going strong. So that was really kind of like the one benefit of battery life that a lot of people just probably aren't considering.
Right. And the quality of it, it's incredible. You come out with the zero shave blade or the zero blade for your body. So if you have, hair on your body that you want to trim off, shave off, that's a good option for you. Then you have the other blade as well, that is the medium, I guess, in the middle, right? You got the one for your beard, and then you have the zero blade. What's the other blade? Don't you have three blades? Did I lose you? May have a bad connection. So if you're tuning in tonight, make sure you stay to the end, because we are giving a free VENTO hair dryer away, valued at $198 tonight. So make sure you stay here, and I will drop, actually I already did. I dropped a link in the chat for the giveaway. You have to type in your information and stay present, because if I call your name at the end, you have to be here to win this Brio VENTO. So with that said, go ahead. You were kind of breaking out. I'm not sure. I think maybe there was a glitch in the connection or something.
Yeah, sorry, but internet issues over here. But yeah, so I lost you when you were talking about the blade. But yeah, so just covering the blades really quick. So the way we look at this is like, it's basically, you can't really have a blade that cuts like a lot of thick hair like really, really well, but then also cuts like super short. So, you know, the ceramic blade on the Beardscape, it goes down to about 1 millimeter, which is fairly short, but it's not like real short, you know? So it's like, there's a lot of places that a lot of guys trim very regularly where they want it like a lot shorter than that. Right. So yeah, that's why we came up with the zero blade. So it's a fixed blade. It's on the really short end of the spectrum. It's like 0.2 millimeters. So there aren't a lot of trimmers out there that can do that. And that way you kind of get the best of both worlds. So if you're just kind of mostly doing either like beard trims, stubble, haircuts, body hair, that the standard blade is going to be the perfect one for you. But if there's those areas, for me, it's like my neck or like cheek lines, or, you know, haircuts kind of back of the neck area where you really just kind of want it shaven, then that's where that blade really comes in.
So the zero blade's $24.95. The body blade is going to be $15 if I remember correct, and then the standard blade, I think it's the same price, $15.
Yep.
And these are great blades. I'm telling you, I can't say enough about Brio. I do try to be fair with other companies when I do reviews, but I'm so biased because Brio is just so good. You know, and one of the things that I love about your company is the customer service. The customer service is there anytime anybody has issues. I've always heard they've had great, great service from you guys. You guys stand behind your product. It's just a well-built machine as far as when, you know, whether you're talking about the trimmer, whether you're talking about the Brio Rays that just released last spring. And then the new VENTO, just holding it in your hand. It's just, it feels so good. Now, I like the idea that it's not real bulky. And I love the idea that you can actually detach the power cable, which makes it super easy when you're traveling, because you don't have to worry about it, you know, getting jammed up and messing up as far as, you know, bending it and stuff like that. I love the travel kit pack, the case it comes in. I thought that was really, really awesome. But it's just so light. And I love the fact of how quiet it is. You know, in the mornings when I'm fixing my beard, I don't have to worry about waking my wife up. And so, but it still has that nice force and pressure as a full hair dryer would have in such a small, compact body. And I just, man, I love it. I know Brio's coming out with a diffuser as well. And a lot of people's been asking about that as well, I've seen. And so just a lot of things coming down the pipe in a good way for Brio. Again, you know, you just released the combs last year toward the end of the year, and I love my comb. I show it everywhere I go. I've got a couple of them, and people just absolutely love them. You know, a lot of people don't understand that there's a big difference between some cheap comb you're going to buy like at a Walmart or a Dollar Tree compared to an actual comb that's actually made for your hair. That's not going to snag it. It's not just a machine that's just, has a little frigid ends that's going to just snag your hairs, So, and the colors, you
Yeah,
guys got all kinds of colors.
we had fun with that. I think like when we started getting into that, it got carried away a little bit, just having fun with like, oh man, these are super cool, like these options that we could do. It's so the material is it's a cellulose acetate, and the reason that's really used in our combs and a lot of other like higher end combs that you'll see is basically just because it's non-static, and that's kind of the main benefit. Also, it machines really well. So these combs are actually machined out of like a flat surface. So, everything gets smoothed off like really well. And I think like, that's kind of where the anti-snag capabilities come from. But, versus something that would be like plastic or injection molded or something like that. So, yeah, cool material. And there's just a lot of fun patterns and colors we could do. So we figured, why not? And it's all personal preference too, right? It's like we have a couple sizes, but the colors is just kind of up to you and whatever speaks to you. But yeah, if you want, you said a lot in the beginning there. I mean, we could reverse back to customer service just for a second, because like for me that was like super important. As soon as we started putting a lot of effort into developing products, and we early on kind of knew like direct consumer was going to be the way to go for us. Kind of, it's just like a main focus. The customer service thing it's so important, because when you look at the big brands, like the big legacy brands that have been around for hundreds of years, that are selling this stuff, they end up in a completely different mindset about who their customer is. Mm-hmm. So if you're a big brand that's been around for 100 years, you're selling to places like Walmart or Target or whatever. You got distribution everywhere. They forget who's buying their trimmers, mm-hmm. and they lose that connection, and then they, in a sense, don't care or can't provide good service, right? Because like if you're buying a trimmer from us, we can look your order up, whether it's on Amazon or our website. Like, we're gonna know who you are, and and like we're gonna have that level of commitment. It's like, you took the risk with us, like you took the risk to buy from us. We're gonna make sure that doesn't go wrong, So we do have a 2-year warranty on a lot of the stuff with the batteries. We generally kind of go beyond that, to be honest, if someone does reach out beyond that. So yeah, for us, it's just like early on, that was one of the key things we wanted to do, because I was a kind of an early on, e-commerce adopter. Like, I don't even remember when, but like, I started buying stuff online, before a lot of other people were. And, sure. and it's really easy to see the difference between like, what happens with good customer service and versus bad customer. So it's like, there's a lot of companies out there selling stuff online. Some are really good at this, some are really bad, and we've all kind of had that bad experience. And so for us, it was just like really important to be on the good side of that.
Absolutely. For sure.
Yeah.
And like I said, a lot of these other companies that you purchase from, you never hear really, they're just so huge, they're just become so crazy big, and you just don't ever have that type of personal, service that you guys offer at Brio, whether it be from you or any of the other ones that work with you over there. And, I do think that Brio is going to be huge. I feel that way because, you guys are just doing great stuff. You're putting good stuff out. People know about you guys. People are learning about you guys. And I think you guys are doing an awesome job, man. And like I said, if you got the product and you have the service behind it, obviously you certainly have the marketing, you have a great website. You can go check out brioforlife.com. And that's the number 4, Brio, the number 4 life.com, and see all of their offerings over there. They've got all kinds of stuff over there that they offer, which is, it's almost becoming a one-stop shop before long. Eric, before long, you're going to be able to go there and find everything you need, from men's grooming to even women's. I got to say, I will say also, my wife actually uses the Brio Rays as well. And
Okay.
I know this is going to sound probably funny, but my daughters both have a Brio Rays as well. And my daughters will actually, they will actually shave their legs while we're driving, or in their, obviously in the room. But my wife, she uses a razor, but she has really, really, really bad razor burn and all kinds of, problems with their skin after she does a razor all the time. I mean, it's always the next day is horrible. And so when I got her, I had actually given her to try the Skull Shaver, and it was the Pitbull Gold, which is a good head shaver. But for her personally, it did not work very well. And so it kind of turned her off of the whole head shaving tools. Well, then I had my Brio Rays, and I said, hey, let's try this one out. And she absolutely loved it. To this day, she still uses it. My daughters ended up using hers. We ended up getting them a Brio Rays. So I'm a big believer in the Brio Rays, whether that be for your own head, as if you're a guy, or maybe if you're a woman and want to shave your head. But maybe you just have issues with, shaving with a razor, and you're looking for something that's going to be fast, effective. You can do it in the car while you're traveling. You can take it anywhere with you. Essentially, you don't have to even have shaving cream. You could just dry shave anywhere you go and not have to deal with the razor burns, And so kudos for you, bro, on that Brio Rays, because it's great. I love it.
Thank you. Glad you like it so much. And yeah, so I mean, no one talks about that too, like the leg shaving, use, but like for sure that's super important, because I'm luckily, you and I aren't having to shave our legs all the time. I think if we did, we'd probably be a little bit more frustrated with that process. But
absolutely,
yeah, it's a great thing to use it for. It's in terms of being like fast and easy. Like leg hair, it's not like super coarse. It's not like, for on most women, it's not like really dark, or so like the rotary style shaver is a great solution for that. So yeah, and it's tough too, like you said, in terms of like, we're not necessarily trying to be like a one-stop shop, but for grooming tools, certainly. And I think like one of the harder things to navigate here too is like, the men versus woman thing. And like we, initially I'd have to say like, this has been hard, like, because for a while, we did have a woman's trimmer. But I think we've kind of got to the point where, and I think women have basically got to the same point too, where I know when it comes to actual razors, most women are just buying men's razors, because it's for the most part, depending on what the razor is, it's the better option versus buying the pink one, right? So we're kind of in the same boat, where it's like we're making grooming tools, whether that's a shaver or a hair dryer or a trimmer, and it's kind of like gender doesn't matter, it's hair is hair, right? So the raise is going to work really good on your head. It's going to work really good on your legs, So we're kind of just at this point, just like we're not doing the whole gender thing. It's just this is the product we make. This is what it does. And yeah, there's obviously different ways to talk about it. And that's kind of the different part, like the content we make. Like, are we talking about, blow drying your beard, styling your beard? Are we talking about, women's hairstyles? So I think that's kind of where it comes in for us. It's like, it's just really more about the content and about showing, the product in use. But yeah. So, I mean, if you want, I can kind of give you an overview of the hair dryer and kind of how we got there and why. So
absolutely, for sure.
Okay. Yeah. So, I think one of the things that we are always trying to do is we're trying to make things better, just simply put, we're trying to make grooming tools better.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's something like we can't really make it better, we're just probably not going to go there. Like put it on the shelf, worry about it later. Like, like no opportunity, nothing to fix. With hair dryers, and this started a while ago. I mean, to be honest, it took us a long time to get this on the market, probably too long. We had a lot of design changes, tooling changes, testing, and all that. As you can imagine, I do spend a lot of time on product development these days. That's probably one of the main roles, one of the main things that I'm doing. But with the hairdryer, the big thing for me was the motor. So brushless motors in the last few years have come a long way in terms of, like the power output, the noise, the lifespan, in price too, like kind of getting them in a reasonable range. And it was such an important upgrade, like technology upgrade, like literally it kind of goes back to like the battery thing, right? That I was talking about that happened like, 10 years ago or so. With these motors, they're so much better than what old style hair dryers have. The old like, brushed AC motors that you see. So for us, that was it. It was like, okay, this is kind of, the ideal component upgrade, right? So it's like, okay, let's build around that. So, from there, it was pretty easy. I don't think hair dryers need to be super complicated. For us, it was like just a few simple metrics. So wind speed was one, and that's kind of where that motor comes in. It's super powerful, and what that gets you, especially if you're like a woman with a lot of thick hair, is it's dry time. So, the wind speed is going to get you the faster dry time without using a crazy amount of heat.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's the other thing to balance, right? Because like everyone has kind of, their own ideas or their own preferences really for heat. And there's no doubt that heat is really one of the main forces in drying your hair, right? But you don't want to use too much. You want to use like the right amount. So for us, like being able to dial that in and having that like digital display and like the more precise controls over like getting your heat setting right was like one of the big things that we wanted to add to this hair dryer. So yeah, to get you started, that was kind of like two of the things we were focused on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate you sharing that as far as, the details when it comes to helping women out with their hair and as far as overheating. And that's another thing that I did want to kind of talk to the audience tonight. As you guys know, I do have two different audiences that I talk to on this channel. Obviously, Bearded Manjaro Bro, I'm a bearded guy. I've termed or had my audience, most of them. I did a multiple choice, random contest. I don't want to say contest. What would it be?
Like a survey.
Survey. Yeah. Survey. That's it. And I put different names, that I thought would be a better way of branding my channel instead of just Chad Boney. What does Chad Boney offer on this channel? And what is Chad Boney? What exactly is he on YouTube? What is he doing? And well, half of the content I do is men's grooming, and half of it is Manjaro. And I talk a lot about GLP-1s because I'm a type 2 diabetic, down from 300 pounds down to 200. And so it's a huge, huge thing out there, a huge market when it comes to weight loss, fitness, diabetes. So I'm trying to mix the men's grooming with the fitness and put it together, because there are a lot of people that have diabetes, obviously, and they want that men's grooming because, every guy, I feel like if they look good, they feel good, and they just want to take care of the rest of their life when they feel better. But also, there's a lot of females out there that, are probably like, I don't really care about the men's grooming. But to be able to share something like this, it's actually helpful for them as well, because there's a lot of females out there that do want to have a nice tool when it comes to fixing themselves up. They want to have that nice hair, they want to style it, they want to fix it up, they want something that's nice, and this is a great offering to share with them, because I feel like, as you said, unisex, it doesn't matter if you're a male or female. These shavers will work for you, so
Yeah.
I feel like this is something where we can kind of meet in the middle. Obviously, a female is not going to say, well, yeah, I'm interested in that beard oil, or hey, yeah,
Mhm.
I'm interested in that beard, wash or conditioner, or, whatever. Maybe fragrances, I talk about some fragrances too. There's a lot of unisex fragrances out there as well. But when it comes to grooming tools, there are a lot of grooming tools that females love. And a lot of times there are a lot of women out there that just are uneducated as well. They're like, well, head shaver. I never thought about using a head shaver on my legs. That's a good idea. I probably should check that out, because, my sister or my daughter has major bad, breakouts and skin rashes and stuff and razor burns after she shaves. And, and it saves money too. I love the fact that I don't have to keep on, spending money on a razor every few days or every week, 3 months, I
Yes.
change out the head, and, $25, and you may be out $100 in a whole year if you do switch it out every 3 months, which a lot of people, I'm sure, probably don't. A lot of people may not even use the raise every couple few days, whatever, depending on the person, their hair, how they want to, groom themselves. But even if you did it every 3 months, $100 a month, that's a lot cheaper than what you'll be paying for razors. The price of razors are crazy these days.
Absolutely. Yeah. And by the way, cleaning that blade, like cleaning the blade assembly on that raise, definitely extend the lifespan of that thing.
Sure.
Um, Depending on if you're using it with a shave cream, like a lot of times if you're using it wet or with a shave cream, it tends to kind of gunk up the blade a little bit quicker. But like cleaning that off, dissolving that off really well, hot water works. Then letting that thing dry out. That like doing that every couple of shaves will definitely extend that usable lifespan of the shaver head.
For sure. For sure. Okay, well, I'm going to take a second, and I'm going to throw up on the on the screen right now. Let me get to this real quick. What we're doing here, so when they're tuning in later, the audience, they'll be able to see. So this is what we're giving away. This is the new Brio VENTO, $199 value. I'm going to set this to do the drawing on Friday at 8 p.m. this Friday. So you have until Friday, 8 p.m. to enter this contest. You need to go to the link and you need to put your information in and give this a like. And if you haven't subscribed, it'd be a great time to check it out. Subscribe. We talk about Brio. We talk about all kinds of things on this channel when it comes to men's grooming. So that is the giveaway for tonight. And so, guys, I got to tell you, you got to check these out. These are right hot off the press, less than a week away. That these were on the market. I think it was Tuesday on the 5th when these things became available. And these are going to be just known about like crazy. When people start figuring out what these really are and how they work, they're going to absolutely love it, Eric. So with that said, I'm going to show you guys how good this hair dryer did for me. I get a lot of guys, Eric, that ask me, how do you tame your flyaways? As I grow this beard out, I've been growing this beard for a while, and it's getting long. But a lot of guys, they have those issues with flyaways. And some may say, what's a flyaway? Well, flyaway is where they just kind of shoot out, you know, and, a lot of people want to use like balm, uh, maybe they try to find some strong butter or anything like that. Products do work, but heat is going to be the one that is going to, be your go-to when it comes to styling your beard and having it straight. If you want to have straight, you can certainly get a beard straightener. They've got beard straighteners, they've got heated combs, but a hair dryer does a great job. And this one, I absolutely love it. It's like I said, it's light. And I can set it. I can set the temperature. I believe it goes in, different temperatures like 90, 140, 190, 250, I think, something like that. If my memory's right. I
Yep.
like to be at 140. That's kind of where I've just dialed in at, and I love it. So I get this beard heated down, and then I'll push the cool button, and it'll stay cool, and it'll stay that way every time I turn it on. And so like I said, I love it. I'm gonna show you a picture today, not too long ago before the live stream. This is what my beard looked like after I got out of the shower. That's not it. This is what my beard looked like when I got out of the shower. So I'd applied beard oil in there, and wanted to take a picture and show you guys exactly what it looked like before. And I was able to use the hair dryer and use my brush wand. It's what I call it. It's got the bristles, board brush wrist bristles, and detangler together. And this is what I got. So you can notice a big difference by using this hair dryer. So if you're looking to get some of those flyaways taken care of to lay down for you, it's all about training. You have to train your beard, and that's doing it every day. It doesn't take very long to do, but when you train that beard to lay down, it'll just lay down naturally after a while. Super excited about this Vento hair dryer, man. I was just thinking, I pulled these out of my pocket. I've got my combs here that I use all the time. And I've been a big, huge Chicago fan, Chicago comb fan for a long time, and I still am. But I seem to be using these combs way more than the Chicago combs. I just love them. I absolutely do.
Was that the carbon fiber ones?
Yeah. The Chicago combs are carbon fiber. Yep.
Yeah,
and they're notorious when it comes to beard care.
Awesome. Yeah, I've never tried one, but I've seen them. They look pretty cool.
Yeah, really cool. But if you have never tried out Brio's combs, you got to check them out, guys. If you are a big fan of Chicago comb, you're going to really love Brio's combs. Again, like I said, these cool colors are pretty awesome. I've got a yellow one somewhere around here too, but so my son uses one of these too when I style his hair. He's just a 9-year-old boy, but he likes to have his hair styled like crazy. Always asking me to dry his hair. He wants it blow dried. And
nice.
So I'm always using the Vento, and, he's got the pompadour. He's wanting to get fluffed up. And so, but yeah, I love it, man. I absolutely am excited to see what Brio has to offer down the line. And I do remember that Ivy. Was it the Ivy?
Yep.
Trimmer that you guys used to have?
Yeah.
But you guys, from that, a nose hair trimmer too. I've got one of those. I know that you've done a comparison with several different famous or notorious or popular, I should say, nose trimmers when it comes to these other big brands. And just breaking it down, you can go to Brio for life, and you can find this information. But breaking this down in comparison as far as what's the difference between this nose and hair trimmer as opposed to this one. And I think you had a whole lineup of, I don't know, 10 or 12 of them. I mean, I can't remember how many it was, but quite a bit.
I test a lot of stuff out. I have a ridiculous amount of trimmers of all sorts and shavers. So, that's like one thing we realize is if we want to make something that's better, I mean, you got to see what is out there.
Right.
You got to test it out, and then
figure out why it's the way it is. Why does people
and just like there's a lot of products out there that have like really great features and like that we want to replicate, and then but maybe some of them just don't have the right combination.
Sure.
So there's like, I mean, you can learn a lot really from testing a lot of stuff out, and then just hearing what people have to say, like what do they like about certain things? What do they not like? And it's just kind of that level of like listening, testing things out, and then just finding the right way forward, because that's kind of the game right there. We're just looking for that, for those improvements, and that's why we do it.
Well, and there's another, if you're listening in today and you're curious, there is a website out there. It's called Trimmer Manual. That's TrimmerManual. manual.com. And they go over different trimmers on the market, kind of comparison, so if you're curious on what a trimmer is like, whether that be a head shaver or a beard trimmer, you name it, this website has all kinds of reviews on there as far as, different, and it's a plethora of different people that are checking them out and giving their thoughts on it. So that's just kind of a deal that I want to throw out there in case you're looking. But again, guys, you got to check out this Vento, because this Vento it's awesome. My wife, she has been dying to use it, and I've never even been able to give her to her. I don't want to give it to her. I'm saying, stay back. This is mine. You can take my old one. And no, I'm more than happy to let her check it out and use it. I'm just afraid that the second that my wife and daughters use the Vento, I'm never going to see it again. That's my wife.
Yeah, it could cause a family fight. I could see that happening. It's got to be careful with that.
So, but I enjoy it. And is there anything that you want to say for the audience today? I will say, I guess, if you want to save yourself 15% on Brio, you can type in the code Manjarbro, and I've left it in the chat here, or the description, and that'll save you 15%. That's not going to be a ongoing deal. It's normally 10%, and you can find that all over my channel, that discount code. But for tuning into the stream, you can save 15% on it tonight. So make sure, if you are interested in this, that you take advantage of that. Okay.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. Yeah. I was going to reiterate that point, just because we generally don't discount products we're just releasing, but of course, for you and your audience, happy to do that. If you guys are checking us out and you want to learn about it, that's kind of just that added incentive here. But yeah, no, that's great to hear the 9-year-olds using the hairdryer already. Like, it kind of reminded me. So I have 3 young boys as well. So I've got 12, 10, and 8. And I feel like I can remember, like, years ago, like when like Justin Bieber like came out and he was still a kid,
right.
And like I feel like he brought that the blowout fluffy hair style like totally to that age group. So
Right.
I feel like that was like the sort of like iconic look for those kids for a little minute there.
That's funny.
So, yeah, the Bieber thing.
I feel like my wife and my sister-in-law were really into NSYNC. My wife wasn't ever into Justin Bieber, but I think her sister had a big crush on him.
That's funny. Yeah. Well,
Bieber.
I tell you what, here's my prediction.
Sorry, not Bieber. Justin Timberlake. I'm not talking about. I don't know why I said Justin Timberlake. We're talking about Bieber. It's sad. They all run together in my head.
No, well, you and I are more of that vintage, right? The Timberlake vintage,
old school.
And to that point, I have a prediction here. So my prediction is that, like, within the next like year or so, people are going to start frosting their tips again.
That's so funny. I used to do that, and I'm bald now.
Yeah. So what? Gosh, I hope that's not related.
I know it probably isn't. I used to do the 40 volume. It can't be, dude. It's all genetics, but it couldn't have been good for me though.
Yeah, I don't know. The way I'm seeing these like style trends like come back up again, it's hilarious.
Right.
Like everything that was cool like 30 years ago is like all of a sudden cool again. The one that really got me, the Adidas Sambas. Right. So I was in probably like, I don't know, like 5th grade. Those were like the coolest shoes ever in like 1995 or 6 or something. Right. So
sure.
And it's just really funny because like the shoe was not expensive. Back then they were probably $40.
Sure.
Right. So it's never like, and it was an indoor soccer shoe. Right? That's why it was made. It was an indoor soccer shoe.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a lot of friends that played indoor soccer. I don't think I did at all at that point, but now they're like super expensive. I don't know if anyone if anyone out there knows how much these things are, but I'm pretty sure they're like not cheap. They're not $40 anymore.
No, they inflate that stuff like crazy now.
In fact, I mean, it's probably, I think they're so popular right now. I don't even know, like, there's probably a lot of styles you can't even buy.
Right.
But
What
yeah, I mean, quick search, yeah, 70 to 100, it looks like maybe. So no, they're not, I mean, they're probably not like crazy expensive, but you know, stuff
Yeah.
changes.
Well, as long as they don't bring out bag Jinkos, pipes. Do you remember those jeans? That's crazy.
I saw this guy on TikTok like months ago. He's got this aesthetic of like that era. I don't even know what era that is exactly. Like, it's got to be mid
Grunge.
'90s.
Oh,
No, it was like the Janko jeans, you know, where the legs are like this
right.
wide,
Yeah.
and then he's on rollerblades wearing like that era sunglasses. Is really funny.
That's
Doing
crazy.
like all these like inline skating tricks.
Yeah. I remember
So
those days. The
I mean,
90s, man.
rollerblades are they're like practical. I don't know. I mean, like I can't say I've strapped a pair on in the last couple decades, but I mean, it's a good way to get around, right?
Yeah. Could you imagine though if you did pull out some Jinkos or pipes right now and walk down the street? I mean, you know for a fact you're gonna have kids that are gonna go, what the heck is that person doing? Or you're gonna have people that are just bringing back this nostalgic thoughts of, oh my gosh, dude. They're gonna probably come talk to you and say, man, I hadn't seen these Jinkos or pipes in ages.
Yeah. So I mean, to be honest, so I live in Ann Arbor. It's a college town. The things I see these kids wearing, it's not that different. Like they're almost there, you know? Like
Really?
yeah, it's like really, you know, not like that baggy, but like they're wearing big clothes again. It's
Yeah.
interesting.
It's crazy because I mean, it seems like for a while now it's been skinny jeans, you know, it went
Yeah.
completely opposite. Like big, huge, overly baggy pants to skin tight pants on not only women but guys. And it's but it's crazy because everything always comes back around. It's
Yep.
just always a full spin. History repeating itself. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I remember even like when I was a kid, my dad telling me about the and how like, you know, I went between like skinny and fat neckties for like decades, right? You know, because you rewind this country just a little ways in like how many men wore like suits like all the time, you know?
Right.
You know, many decades that guys just like the suit was like the, you know, you wear a suit and tie like in the 60s if you're going on an airplane, like people dress up, you know, it's
Sure.
crazy. But over all those decades, like the flip-flop, like the skinny ties are cool. Now the fat guys ties are cool, and now the skinny, you know, is cool again. So yeah, we just keep doing it, man.
Yeah, yeah. I thought you were going to say the skinny guys were cool back then. Now the fat guys are cool now. I'm just a late bloomer. Come on, man.
Yeah, yeah.
That's funny. That is funny. I'll tell you what, kind of going back to the 90s, man, I was always a big kid. You know, when I got proposed to my wife back in 2009, I was 300 pounds. It's crazy. And then just to think the times and the, you know, where we were back then and now, you know, the changes, it's mind-blowing, the things that
Yeah.
we've seen. You know, I just turned 40. I don't know how old you are, Eric, but I just turned 40 back in June of last year. And man, it's crazy to just the technology and just the ways of life, how things have changed so crazy since when we were kids. My kids were like, Dad, what did you do when you were sitting in the car and you didn't have a phone or something? We're like, were you bored? What did you do? I don't know. I mean,
Looked out
we
the
just,
window. Yeah.
yeah, we, I mean, we went outside and played and we had a great time. I mean, yeah, we watched TV and stuff, shows. I mean, I'm not that old, but where it was black and white and no TVs, but I was around in the invention of America Online, you know,
Yeah.
dial up internet.
Yeah.
It's
Not
crazy.
there's not a whole lot of fun to be had. You know, I mean, back
Right.
then it was like it was chat rooms, right? I mean, that was
Yep.
like the fun thing as a kid you could do.
Yep.
But that's it. Yeah. So
Yep.
and even like, you know, back to your, you know, your loss story. Congrats on that, by the way. That's awesome. I mean,
Thank you.
what a huge positive change. I feel like, you know, as a society, we've learned so much from a like an exercise and nutrition standpoint, just to be in such a better spot. You know, like I think there's so much learnings there. Like, you know, what I learned when I was a kid about, you know, food and what to eat and what not to eat. I feel like the kids now have probably an advantage, I think, when it comes to information and,
Yeah,
you know, access to stuff like that. So
absolutely. For sure. Well, I mean, kids can just look up online anything these days. And I'm not saying Google's always right, but we never had, those types of things to do back in the day. So, I mean, maybe that's why a lot of us are more smarter than the new kids. Nah, I'm just playing. I tell my kids, I said, because my kids get homeschooled. I said, you guys, actually, I don't say this. My wife says this. She's the homeschooler. But she says, you guys are not allowed to use the calculator until you get to the point where you're absolutely not able to do it, because if we're just going to let our kids use calculators all the time, they're never going to learn anything. They got to use their brain and figure things out and problem solve. And, I'm always talking to them about numbers, trying to get them to figure numbers out because I'm a numbers guy. I do a lot of numbers at work. I'm into sales, and it's what I do for a living on the side. That's my part-time job. My full-time job is a content creator. No, I'm just playing. It's reversed. Now, a little bit personal stuff about me you probably don't know as I am in a ministry. I'm an artist. I do music. I've written a lot of music, and I've done ministry for a long time and got a family of 3 kids, wife, and been married for going on 16 years now. And so, but I just turned 40, and this is just a passion of mine. Other than ministry, this is a passion to meet with people and help them find their solutions when it comes to, practical things, whether that be men's grooming or this diabetes weight loss stuff. It's something that has helped me and changed my life, and I want to share with people. And so when I come across a great product like Brio, I've got to share it. I've got to share it. And I talk about tons of things on this channel as far as product reviews. I'm always listen, I always get emails all the time. Will you review our products? And it's probably from China, some other companies that are reaching out to me, but I don't want to just review everybody's stuff. You know what I mean? Like, if I just feel like, well, I don't know if it's going to be, I'll check it out and I'll let them know. Well, I'm not guaranteeing that I'm not one to really bash any companies. Some guys will get on YouTube and they will just bash a company. And it's crazy because there's so many company owners that'll say, um, just go easy on me. What do you mean go easy on you? I mean, do you think I'm going to bash your company? I'm not going to do that. If I don't feel like it's a good product, I probably honestly, but I will if you're okay with it. If you're okay with me giving a completely honest review and telling people how it is and stuff, I will. But if it's just going to be absolute trash, it's probably not going to be a good fit for me
yeah.
because, I don't want to bash your company, but I certainly don't want to promote it. So it's finding that balance.
Yeah. No, and that's good, right? Because like you want to create content that's useful for people.
Right.
And
Exactly.
like so for me, I'm the kind of person, I'm a really picky consumer. So like I'm the kind of person who does a lot of research before I buy like mostly anything, right? Doesn't even have to necessarily be like a major purchase. It's just like I'm gonna buy some. I want to make sure it's the right one,
Right.
you know? And I think like that's one of the awesome things about YouTube, because if you ever go to Google and you do a search for like the best whatever, fill in the blank, right? All you're going to see is these garbage affiliate articles that just have like whatever. They'll pick top 10 of the best sellers and they'll send you to Amazon affiliate links. And all of these, you know, websites and even big time magazines are doing this just to earn the affiliate money.
Right.
And the content they're creating offers no value, because literally they'll just go and pull the bullet points. I mean, half of it's probably AI created anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people are getting, like, they're tuning into this, and they're understanding like what it is, right? Like when you see these like affiliate articles and stuff, and it's like, I don't know. For me, like, that's the beauty of YouTube. You see someone using the product, you hear their real opinions on it, and it's not just like some AI generated script, coming out
Yeah,
of something.
for sure.
So, sorry for the rant there.
No, you're good, man. I think we're gonna wrap this up. But if you guys have any questions, you're tuning in after this stream, make sure you drop them in the chat or a comment in the comment section. We would love to answer you to the best of my ability. If I have a question that I'm not sure of, I can certainly get with Eric, or Eric can chime in on this channel. He can see the comments.
Yep.
But I'm excited about this, guys. I'm excited about sharing this, what they offer, getting this out to you guys. And like I said, if you have any issues with Brio, let Eric know. They're really good about taking care of their customers. But like I said, I'll drop a link where you can find this at 15% off right now with the code Manjarbro on their website. Make sure you check out the link in the description. I have it in the chat as well, but I'll put it in the description. And this contest will go until Friday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then it'll be generated an actual winner, and we will let you guys know who the winner is, and we will get you one of the nice newest Ventos out to you guys. So again, it's an awesome product. I'm excited for you to check it out. If you have any questions, like I said, ask us. And you guys have a great week, and stay blessed, stay bearded. And if you're not bearded, stay blessed anyways. We'll see you guys.